How my wedding day turned into chaos. Before we begin the story, make sure to subscribe to our channel and never miss more incredible stories every day. The lights die as my veil lifts, and whispers turn feral. 100 phones tilt toward me like sunflowers chasing the only glow left. The exit sign pulsing in the chapel side corridor. I'm Maya, 28, the project manager who color-coded this day into submission. My spreadsheets have spreadsheets. I know the run of show, the backup plans, an emergency kit that weighs like a toddler. I planned everything except a blackout and an officiant who texts 5 minutes out, then disappears. Evelyn, my future mother-in-law, glides down the aisle with a smile polished to a mirror. "Keep calm, darling. We don't need drama," she murmurs, the way a museum guard says don't touch. Noah squeezes my hand, warm and damp, eyes somewhere between apology and prayer. The venue manager materializes next, demanding an unpaid balance we never authorized. "No release of generator without the final wire," he says, checking his watch, not my face. Priya nudges me from behind my bouquet. "Check the binder," she whispers. We flip to contracts. Every invoice marked paid, green tabs laughing at me. "Could there be a second account?" she asks. "Or someone change the terms?" The organist stops improvising and the guests hum like bees. I count my breaths. I count my contingencies. I count the hours I spent convincing Noah that detail isn't control, it's care. The florist waddles up, cheeks gone white. "The cake order was canceled by the bride this morning," she says, as if I might confess, and we can all go home. "By the bride" lands like a slap. My phone buzzes, an email from the bakery timestamped 6:03 a.m. Subject line confirmation, canceled PR Maya. The sender domain is the bakery's, the signature is mine, the phone number is not. Outside, the wind knifes the chapel eaves. Inside, Evelyn softly claps. "We'll do a classy champagne-only ceremony," she purrs. "Minimal is chic." Noah leans close, breath hitching. "It'll be okay," he says, like a promise he borrowed. The venue manager clears his throat again. "Sign change order required," he says. "I have it on file." I don't. Priya's eyes sharpen. "Then who signed it?" I say. "Bring me the signature, and bring me our officiant right now." Then the side door slams, and everyone turns toward the disappearing shadow. The rehearsal dinner was supposed to reset the tension, but Evelyn curated it like a press conference. She had the seating chart reprinted twice so our friends wouldn't overwhelm the family side, then privately asked the planner if I'd consider a more timeless dress, meaning less me. "I'm only protecting your future photos," she said, sipping lemon water as if truth were hydrating. Noah laughed it off. "She's intense about these things," he whispered, meaning everything. In the months leading up, Evelyn's suggestions were instructions dressed as silk. A string quartet photographs better than a DJ. A plated dinner signals standards. No buffet lines, unflattering angles. I swallowed it because I thought marriage was a team sport and teams sometimes play away games. Each compromise earned a smile. Each boundary earned a comment about my project manager tone. At the tasting, when I asked for a vegetarian entree that wasn't an afterthought, she touched my wrist. "We don't need to cater to fringe choices." Priya rolled her eyes so hard the room tilted. Afterward, she said, "You're giving her brand manager access to your life." I said, "It's one day." Priya said, "It's a dress rehearsal for every day." Noah called it generational miscommunication. I called it a learning curve. Then last night, Evelyn stood to toast and slid a blade under the napkin. "To Maya, whose dedication is thorough," she said, letting the word stretch until it snapped. Laughter skittered around the table like dropped silverware. Noah didn't see me grip the chair. Back in the hotel suite, I set alarms labeled with tasks. I laid out the license envelope by the door with the rings, the vow cards, the something blue. I thumbed through my binder one last time, tapping green tabs, hearing the future purr like a well-oiled machine. When I fell asleep, the city wind shook the glass like a warning I translated as excitement. Morning brought rain that smelled like pennies. At 8, the officiant texted confirming 2 p.m. At 10, the bakery DM'd a cake close-up tagged with our names. At 11:30, Priya's knock jolted me. "Your license envelope isn't here," she said. I laughed because denial is easier to swallow than air. I do the obvious loop. suitcase, vanity, garment bag, bathroom counter, the nightstand where I left my phone to charge. The license envelope is not here. The concierge calls up to say a courier came by asking for our suite, said he was from the county clerk's office, and left when the front desk asked for ID. We didn't let him take anything, she assures me, like someone describing a near miss with a child and a hot stove. My gut does a slow, long blink. Priya opens her notes app. We photographed everything, she says, scrolling with the zeal of a detective who keeps snacks in the glove box. There's a photo of the envelope at 1:12 a.m., time-stamped in the corner, resting on the console table by the door. In the background is my veil on a hanger and a shadow that looks like a shoulder. That's me, Priya says quickly, but her voice stutters on the me. Noah FaceTimes. Ty half-nodded, grin sheepish. Hey, minor hiccup. Best man can't find his shoes. Minor, I say, because vocabulary matters when you're triaging. The license is missing. Silence. A beat, too. It's okay, he says, which is what people say when it isn't. We'll sign after. It's symbolic today. It's legal today, I say. It's paperwork that becomes a promise. Evelyn joins the call over his shoulder. Sweetheart, she coos, guests don't need to see signatures. They need to see love. Priya mutes me and hisses, stop letting people rename your reality. Unmute. I say, I'm calling Sloan. Sloan picks up on the second ring, voice level like a plumb line. We have a procedural path if the license is truly missing, she says, but it means shifting the timeline. I hear her keyboard. Also, the venue told me they received a change order moving the ceremony forward to 1:30. That's not ours. I say, feeling heat crawl up my neck. Send it. A PDF pings. My signature grins up at me, perfect and wrong. Could someone have signed on your behalf? Sloan asks gently. Only if that someone practiced my loops in the mirror, I say. The organist begins warming up as my faith in paper cools. At the chapel, the air tastes like damp wood and charged apology. The venue manager, Rory, laminated badge, efficient frown, meets me in the vestibule with the change order printed on letterhead. We'll need the remaining balance and a signature to roll the generator, he says, as if he's offering hors d'oeuvres. I hold the page up to the stained glass light. The curves of my name are right. The pressure on the downstrokes is wrong. Priya taps the bottom corner. Look at the font in the footer, she says. Their template updated last week. This is from the old one. Rory checks his phone. We received it yesterday at 4:17 p.m. from your planner. My planner did not send this, I say, calling Sloan on speaker. Hi, Rory, she says dryly. I did not send that. He shrugs the way people do when truth is inconvenient. Then someone spoofed it with your brand kit, Priya mutters, already photographing margins. A gust of wind shoulders the doors. Guests arrive with hair sprayed into steadfastness, clutching programs that say 2 o'clock. Evelyn floats between pews, curating smiles. Minimal is chic, she repeats to anyone who'll listen. Noah texts. Stuck with the officiant on the phone, he's lost. Another text, a screenshot of the officiant's dropped pin on a bridge 5 miles away. He'll Uber, Noah adds. I stare because the pin is time-stamped 12 minutes ago, and the Uber ETA is 27. Priya elbows me. The bakery just posted a story. Sad to cancel this beauty. Best wishes, Maya. The caption bubbles with pastel hearts. My name tagged. I DM them from my account. We didn't cancel. I type. Who authorized? They reply instantly. Maya did via email at 6:03 a.m. Attached. The attachment shows my signature and a callback number with Evelyn's area code. My stomach folds like a card table. It could be a coincidence, Noah texts. Area codes get recycled. Priya doesn't bother hiding her snort. The storm siren test moans somewhere across the marina, long and low. The organist stops again. Rory says, 5 minutes to 1:30 per your order, Miss Patel. I say, roll the generator when I say, not when a forgery does. Just smile. Evelyn murmurs, as if the chapel lights answer to manners. People remember poise, not paperwork. I watch the way guests triangulate to her like swallows to a steeple. She has a gift for optics that borders on weather control. Noah, I say into the phone, where are you? He hedges, lobby. Managing, the word evaporates. Screensaver, Priya says under her breath. She shoves my bouquet into my hands. Stare at the flowers if you need to breathe. Sloane strides in from the side door, bun unruffled by the wind. "We have a problem," she says, handing me a printout, an email chain with the county clerk. The subject line, prior marriage filing, admin hold. "Someone pulled your application into review at 7 this morning," she says softly. The clerk flagged an existing filing for a Noah Cohen at an old address. My throat goes cold. "There's another Noah Cohen," I say. "It's a common name." Sloane nods. "Likely, but it triggers a match check that can take hours." Evelyn peeks at the header. "Administrative," she declares, as if her word is a rubber stamp. "We'll stage the ceremony and complete papers later." Priya folds her arms. "Except we can't pronounce a legal marriage on camera if it's not legal," she says. Evelyn tilts her head. "We aren't on camera." Priya juts her chin toward the glittering forest of phones. "We are always on camera." The wind growls. Rory calls from the aisle. "1 minute." Sloane squeezes my hand. "You can pause," she says. "You're allowed to be a person before a performance." I think of the invitations, the deposits, the aunties who flew red-eye, Noah's laugh in the kitchen at midnight, and the way his gaze skates off conflict like a skipped stone. My phone buzzes again, a Venmo notification. $2,500 to Sloane Events, with a memo, expedite generator, balance per Evelyn. Sloane's face hardens. "That's not my handle," she says. "It's a spoof." "Who sent it?" I ask, and Noah's typing bubble appears, erases, appears. Then the chapel doors open, and the officiant walks in without meeting my eyes. The officiant steps into the vestry, rain threading his shoulders like loose stitches. He won't meet my gaze. "Traffic," he says, hands twitching. And confusing texts. Priya angles her phone recorder. "From whom?" He swallows. "From you." He shows a thread where Maya moved the ceremony time to 1:30 and requested discretion because of a sensitive family matter. The number has my name, not my digits. "Spoofing," Sloane mutters, already forwarding screenshots to her IT friend. Evelyn materializes behind us, perfume like citrus and verdict. "We're adaptable," she sings. "Guests need leadership, not panic." Rory interrupts. "The generator release still requires proof of payment." "We wired," I insist. He squints at his tablet. A wire arrived, then was recalled. He points to a line item. "Reversal request, Evelyn Cohen, 7:22 a.m. My chest hollows. Why would you reverse a wire? Priya asks. Evelyn's smile never falters. "Because double payment is sloppy," she says. Sloane confirmed the new invoice. Sloane's eyebrows jump. "No, I didn't." Priya's thumbs fly. "Email headers show a mismatch," she says. The from address displays Sloane, but the return path routes through a free client with a 1-hour-old domain. She turns the screen. Even the logo is a hair off. Hex code wrong by a shade only an obsessive or a sister would notice. The officiant clears his throat. "We can still do vows," he offers. "Without the license, it's symbolic." "Symbolic is a costume," I say, voice smaller than I mean. Outside, the wind yanks a banner sideways, making the chapel windows drum. Noah finally appears in the doorway, tie fixed, eyes wild. "Breathe," he begs. "We can fix money stuff later." "Who moved the time?" I ask him. "Who wrote the bakery?" He shakes his head. "It wasn't me." He looks at his mother. Her face is a glass lake. Priya leans in. "Ask him about the prenup doc you never signed," she whispers. Noah blinks hard, like someone bracing for spray. "What prenup doc?" I ask, and his silence thunders louder than the storm. Sloane flips open her leather folio, the one with receipts that smell like toner and truth. "Your shared planning portal shows a time change logged at 5:41 a.m., she says. "Credential, Maya." I stare. "I was asleep," I say. Priya slices in, IP. Sloane nods. "Pulled. A tower near Evelyn's condo." Evelyn's lashes flutter. "My building has hundreds of residents," she says mildly. "Wi-Fi bleeds like gossip." Rory escorts us to the back office. Concrete floors, humming racks, a security monitor playing weather and hall feeds. The camera from the chapel vestibule shows a figure with a hood at 1:24 a.m., pausing at our door. The timestamp kisses my photo of the license envelope by 12 minutes. The figure's posture is wrong for Priya. Too tall, shoulders set forward like they owe money. "Zoom?" Priya asks. The image fattens and blurs. A ring flashes on the right hand, a signet oval the size of a dime. Evelyn's ring is on her left. Noah rubs his right thumb as if scalded. The officiant, trying to help, pulls his own phone log. A call at 6:01 a.m. from Maya asked me to verify I'd accept an earlier time and to avoid stressing Noah about logistics. He scrolls. A follow-up said, confirm canceled cake, simpler aesthetic. Priya opens Venmo again. That spoofed handle already withdrew to a prepaid card, she says. Memo says per Evelyn. Evelyn's eyebrows lift. Anyone could type my name. Sloan texts her bank contact. Wire reversal shows an authorization photo, she says. She turns her screen. The picture is grainy but legible. Noah is standing at a teller window with a document. Face drawn, Evelyn beside him, sunglasses indoors. Time, 7:19 a.m. Explain. I say, throat like chalk. Noah stammers. Mom said there was a duplicate transfer, just cleaning a clerical thing. Priya's voice sharpens. Why are clerical things always aligned with her wishes? Rory knocks the desk with a knuckle. Ceremony guests are restless, he warns. We need a go or a hold. We hold, I say, and Noah looks like I yanked a cord he's tangled in. While Priya stalls with a photo hour on the steps, Sloan pulls me into a storage corridor lined with votives and extension cords. Her screen shows a PDF titled Premarital Agreement, Cohen/Patel, Addendum A. My stomach drops clean through me. I never signed a prenup, I say. We discussed maybe someday, then agreed it felt off for us. Sloan's mouth tightens. This addendum triggers if the ceremony occurs before the license is verified or if the ceremony time is advanced by more than 15 minutes, she says. It designates all wedding gifts and certain funds as family managed until civil confirmation. Family managed means Evelyn, Priya says, arriving breathless. Who drafted it? Sloan scrolls. Law office watermark, Evelyn's estate attorney. E-signature field shows your name as consented by agent. Agent. I echo hollow. Proxy power for day of decisions, Sloan says, eyes hauling hope out of rubble. But there's no correctly filed POA attached. Noah edges in, face ash. I didn't know about an addendum, he says, words like wet matches. Mom said the document was a venue liability update. Priya laughs once, sharp as slate. And you didn't read it. My phone buzzes again. County clerk reply, hold due to prior filing. Preliminary match to a Vegas docket, 2018. Noah's head snaps up. I was in Vegas for a bachelor party, he says quickly. I signed nothing. The clerk's email adds a scan notice, a marriage application listing Noah and a woman named Eliza in. Later stamped, abandoned, pending ID. It never closed in the database. Today's not cursed, Priya says. It's engineered. Evelyn appears at the corridor's mouth, immaculate amid cables. This melodrama is wasting goodwill, she says. Guests will remember your composure. I step toward her. Did you send the bakery cancellation, the spoofed wire, the time change? She doesn't blink. I protected assets that impulsive decisions endanger. Sloan whispers, we can prove chain of custody if we pull server logs. I square my shoulders. Then we pull, and we present, and we stop pretending. The plan clicks together like a lock finding its code. Priya drafts a clean timeline and notes. 1:12 a.m. License visible. 1:24 a.m. Hooded figure at door. 5:41 a.m. Portal time shift. 6:01 a.m. Officiant call. 6:03 a.m. Bakery email. 7:19 a.m. Bank visit photo. 7:22 a.m. Wire reversal request. Sloan messages the venue's AV tech, a saint with a headset and a fondness for receipts. He agrees to route my phone to the projector for a quick slideshow during toasts. Rory, bribed with honesty and the promise of a public exoneration of the venue, grants us 10 minutes to reset guest expectations. I corner the officiant. Do you feel comfortable continuing after a disclosure? He nods, steady now. Truth is a sacrament, he says, surprising me. Noah takes my elbow. Please, no scenes, he whispers. We can talk after, just us. I search his face for partnership and find fog. After what? I ask. After they own our gifts? After the internet calls us inspiring despite the fraud? Priya records a hallway conversation with Sloane and Evelyn by pretending to fix my veil. On playback, Evelyn's voice is smooth marble. We can reclaim the wire later. Optics require composure now. Sloane's reply is a steel line. You reversed a payment without the couple's consent, and you impersonated me. Evelyn sighs. Impersonation is such an ugly word for administrative clarity. The AV tech thumbs up from the balcony. Priya airdrops him the folder, screenshots, bank snapshot, email headers, portal logs, and the addendum PDF with visible metadata. The officiant takes his place near the altar, microphone live. Rory dims the house lights. The generator coughs because he bullied it into cooperation on credit of future reviews. Noah squeezes my hand again. I want to marry you today, he says, jaw tight. Whatever my mother did, I didn't. Then stand by me when I speak. I say. He looks at the crowd, at Evelyn's sharp smile, at his own shoes. I'll stand, he says, but he does not move to the mic. I walk to the front, bouquet abandoned on a pew like a shed idea. The murmurs braid into hush. Before vows, I say into the mic, we need clarity. Phones rise like a field of silver minnows. Priya signals the AV tech. The projector blinks awake. Slide 1. The license at 1:12 a.m. Slide 2. The hooded figure at 1:24 a.m. Slide 3. Portal log showing the time change at 5:41 a.m. IP triangulated near Evelyn's condo. A ripple moves through the room. Someone gasps like a cork. Evelyn's voice sails up. This is grotesque, she announces. You are humiliating our families. I repeat, and click to the bank camera still. Noah and Evelyn at 7:19 a.m. Teller glass reflecting fluorescent sorrow. A wire reversal without our consent. I say. A spoof payment to our planner. A cake canceled by the bride from a number that isn't mine. Noah takes a half step forward and retreats, as if tethered. Mom believed we were overpaying, he says small. She handles transactions better. Priya taps the screen. The addendum appears, clauses highlighted, metadata revealing author initials matching Evelyn's attorney. This document attempts to divert wedding assets if the ceremony occurs before legal verification. Priya says, voice steady as weather. Murmurs turn to low thunder. The officiant lowers his hands. The generator hiccups, lights flicker, and the mic pops like a blister. For a second the room is a dim aquarium filled with stunned fish. Evelyn strides down the aisle, chin sharp. You will regret this performance, she says, eyes on me, then turns to Noah. Choose dignity. Step away from the circus. Noah's face breaks open. Boy, son, partner, problem. He looks at me, then at her, and his mouth shapes a word I don't want to hear. Something in me clicks from panic to production. Reset to reception layout. I tell Rory, and roll the projector feed to the sidewall. Guests translate confusion into curiosity. People love a plot twist when it isn't theirs. Priya hustles to the tech booth with the AV saint, queuing a folder named Lights On. Sloane positions herself beside the aisle like counsel. The officiant remains near the chancel, hands folded, a lighthouse whose beam won't choose a ship. Evelyn retreats 2 rows, spine a tightrope, lips moving in the silent arithmetic of optics. I take the mic again. This isn't about spectacle, I say, voice steadier than I feel. It's about consent. Slide, email headers, return path showing the spoof planner domain. Slide, Venmo withdrawal to a prepaid card. The card bin lookup confirms a kiosk 3 blocks from Evelyn's condo. Slide, portal log with geolocation triangles that would make a weather map jealous. We will not proceed until the paper matches the promise, I say, and we will not pretend while someone reroutes our life. Evelyn stands, controlled. You are embarrassing our families and destroying a beautiful memory, she says. Noah, step down. We will gift you a private ceremony tomorrow. Priya is already lowering a new asset. Audio from the hallway recording, the part where Evelyn says impersonation is an ugly word for administrative clarity. Gasps skid across the pews like dropped glass. Sloane addresses the room as if it's a deposition. Under state law, misrepresentation for financial control is actionable, she says. So is unauthorized wire manipulation. Noah reaches for me, then lets his hand fall. Mom, he says, voice raw. Why? She answers without blinking. Because love is not a spreadsheet, and men lose fortunes to feelings, she says, then softer. And because your father's trust sunsets if you marry without protections. The projector coughs up one more slide. An email from Evelyn's attorney. Subject, prenup addendum. Timing clause TO preserve trust distribution. I see Noah read it like a mirror that chooses which face to show. I lower the mic and invite Evelyn to sit with us privately, but she shakes her head like a queen refusing ransom. Then we proceed with witnesses. I say, and I signal Priya to play the tape I've been dreading. The speakers breathe out the audio Priya captured while fake adjusting my veil. In it, Sloane says, calm as concrete. You reversed the wire and spoofed my email. Evelyn's reply is crystalline. I executed a temporary safeguard, she says. We'll file the paperwork after the optics stabilize. Gasps again. The sound is a tide. Priya taps the next slide. The county clerk's email about Noah's half-closed Vegas application. A murmur of recognition ripples from Noah's college friends. One flinches. Eliza, someone whispers. Noah stares at the name like it's written on his palm in permanent ink he forgot. We applied as a joke, he says quickly into the mic. We never finished. I'm sorry I didn't tell you. Evelyn leans forward, voice carrying. There. Disclosure achieved. Proceed with dignity. Sloane steps closer. The addendum leverages timing to seize assets under your control, she says. That is motive and mechanism. Another slide. A calendar invite from Evelyn to her attorney titled, When Clocks Run, We Win. The room inhales. Noah looks sick. Mom, he says, did you sign as Maya on anything? Evelyn straightens. I authorized reasonable approximations to keep the day moving. Rory, unexpectedly heroic, clears his throat. Our generators are paid by the couple or planner only, he announces. We won't release based on forged documents. Our cameras log who accesses offices. He points at the feed from 6:14 a.m. Evelyn entering with a borrowed vendor lanyard, followed by the best man, eyes down, phone in hand. The best man yelps. It wasn't. She said it was, and wilts. I steady myself on the pulpit edge. I will marry Noah when his choices are his, not edited, I say. And when his mother cannot revoke our power with a pen. Noah steps beside me at last. Mom, stop, he says, but it's a weak stop, like a hand on rein. Evelyn's face hardens into legend. Choose correctly, she says, her final card. Choose family stewardship over public theater. Noah looks at me, then lowers his eyes and whispers into the mic. I need 5 minutes without cameras. Priya kills the projector, and the chapel drowns in the sudden honesty of light. Rory shepherds us into the back office with Sloane and the officiant. Priya blocks the door like a bouncer in chiffon. 5 minutes, she tells curious cousins. Inside, the hum of servers sounds like a second nervous system. Noah presses his palms to his eyes. I should have told you about Vegas, he says. It was stupid, and I wanted today to overwrite it. I swallow. Secrets don't overwrite. They bleed through. He nods, ruined. And the addendum. I didn't know, he says, glancing at Sloane. I sign what, Mom? I mean, she handles. He stops because the sentence is the problem. Sloane lays out a triage plan. Option 1. Pause. Clear clerk hold. Nullify all forged documents and reschedule with notarized statements, she says. Option 2. Symbolic vows now, legal later, but you risk the addendum's leverage and potential confusion online. Option 3 breathes in the room, feral and obvious. I look at Noah. Do you choose us without her pen? He shakes, then steadies. Yes, he says, and for once the word doesn't borrow anyone's voice. Priya opens the door a crack, stage managing the next act. Outside, guests mill like schoolchildren released into unexpected weather. Evelyn confers with 2 relatives. Her hands cut the air. Sloane texts the venue's counsel. We can void any contract signed by misrepresentation, she says. Rory nods. We'll stand down invoices pending investigation. The officiant leans in. I can offer a third space ceremony, private, after paperwork clears, he says. There is dignity in deferral. I turn to Noah. We announce a pause, I say. We explain why. We refund what we can. We donate excess food. We protect our vendors by naming the forgeries as not theirs. Noah swallows, then nods. I'll speak first, he says. She's my mother. I'll take the heat. Priya squeezes my hand, eyes wet. I hate that this is brave, she whispers, but it is. We step back toward the aisle, as if approaching open water. The murmurs rise to crest height. Evelyn meets us at the threshold, smile back on like armor, and quietly says, "You won't survive the fallout you're choosing." "Maybe," I answer, "but at least it will be ours." And we walk into the storm of faces. The announcement is short, surgical. Noah takes the mic first. "We're pausing," he says, voice shaking but audible. "We discovered forged documents and financial interference. That is not the wedding we promised you or each other." I follow with specifics. Timestamps, the clerk hold, the spoofed payments. Enough clarity for fairness, not enough gore for spectacle. Rory steps up to protect the venue. "Any irregular invoices will be voided. Please direct questions to me, not the couple." The officiant offers a benediction shaped like a boundary. "May your vows wait for truth and return stronger." Some guests cheer, some mutter. A few leave in a gust of offended perfume. Evelyn's camp circulates statements about young people being dramatic. Priya turns the reception into a community table. Trays move to the foyer. Playlists become soft background. People eat because chewing keeps them from saying the worst thing first. I hug our vendors and apologize for the chaos that isn't ours. The bakery posts a correction. The florist cries. Rory's staff quietly tape over the projector's lens like an injured eye. By dusk, the wind calms. We sign nothing. Priya drives me to the courthouse annex 2 days later with Sloan and a folder that could anchor a kite. The clerk clears the hold. The Vegas application is marked abandoned and closed. Sloan files a statement detailing forgeries and a notice to Evelyn's attorney. Noah starts therapy on Tuesdays. We go together on Thursdays. He changes his banking alerts, his passwords, the shape of his yes. Evelyn's texts swing between frost and fire. Families protect legacy. Then, "You have humiliated us." Then silence that feels like a stone in a pocket. We mail a certified letter. Any gifts or funds are being returned or donated per guest preference. We attach the address and deadline. We keep the rings in their boxes and wear the tenderness like a temporary tattoo we plan to make permanent. On a gray morning at the pier, Noah asks if I still want the same future, and the gulls answer first. The quiet after scandal is a new kind of loud. I learn the difference between performance and promise every time a stranger recognizes me from a cousin's reel and says, "You did the right thing," like righteousness pays deposits. What pays them is work, budgeting, restitution, and the long chore of rebuilding trust where expectation used to squat rent-free. Noah shows up differently, reads contracts, pauses before reflexively smoothing, says, "Let me handle this," and then actually does, with screenshots and CCs. He sends his mother a boundary in writing. No financial actions on our behalf, no unsupervised access to vendors, no surprise documents ever again. Her reply is a single period. We choose a small ceremony months later in a sunlit room with plants instead of pews. The officiant comes early and stays late. Priya holds my bouquet and our evidence folder because tradition evolves. Sloan signs as a witness and then sits with Rory, who attends as a friend in a suit that finally looks relaxed. The bakery sends cupcakes on the house. The florist tucks herbs into my bouquet that smell like decisions we can live with. When we exchange vows, the only generator running is our courage. If you're watching this because your plans are collapsing, hear me. A day is a room. A marriage is the house. Check the door frames. If someone is moving walls without your consent, turn on every light. Ask vendors for headers, timestamps, sign-in logs. Look for font mismatches, wrong hex codes, return path tricks. Treat money like a message. Who sends it? Who recalls it? Who narrates its travel? Therapy isn't a punishment. It's the maintenance schedule pride forgets. You can pause without failing. You can proceed later without pretending you didn't pause.